In my explorations of Okanogan County, I came across Lake Osoyoos where I stopped for lunch. This is north of the town of Oroville, and it was a beautiful location, but I really wanted to go up and see something that I'd heard about for a long time up in the Okanogan Highlands called the city of Molson. Molson was originally founded in 1900 as a homesteading town, and many of its residents worked in the mines in nearby Sidley, BC. It only lasted for about 5 years before a farmer decided that the entire town was located on his property, and the residents got disgusted and decided to relocate the town about a half-mile north. The old town was left abandoned here and became a ghost town. The new town was around for about 10 years, as it was the first stop in the mountains for the railroad connecting Oroville, Sidley, BC, and Spokane, Washington. It prospered during those years, and at its peak, Molson had a population of 700, which for the area is actually quite large. Today, the original buildings are all part of a museum, and all this old farm equipment is just laying around. You can just walk around on these properties and enter the buildings and wander through on your own. And at least when I was here, there was no one around to even talk to. The new part of town was almost as abandoned as the old part. The only thing that was still functioning, as far as I could tell, was this museum, which was built in the old schoolhouse that closed in the 1960s. The museum was closed until Memorial Day, about 3 days after I filmed this, so I decided to take a trip along the old railroad tracks and see some sights along the Canadian border and along the homesteads that are still around. I found the site of Sidley, BC, which is no longer here and there are no remains of it. The fence along the road, it marks the Canadian border, so the town was built basically before there was a well-established border. Most of the landscape you see here is looking down into the Okanogan Valley and across into British Columbia. I also found a sign for Circle City, which no longer exists and is the last of the ghost towns up in the Molson area.